For those of you who have been following our journey, you know that we purchased 15 acres in off-grid Alaska to raise our baby in peace and build a life with our own hands. But now we're being forced to leave our own land, not by nature, not by choice, but by the Alaska Railroad. I just want to preface this video by saying a lot of people move to Alaska chasing that off-grid, last frontier dream. And honestly, we totally get it. It's exactly what Steve and I are doing. Steve has lived in Alaska for over 16 years, and we still made this huge mistake. So this video is a warning, a cautionary tale. More and more people are buying land here, often sight unseen, and when they finally get up to Alaska, they realize they've been completely bamboozled. And the truth is, even though Alaska is triple the size of Texas, I mean, it's huge. There actually aren't that many places to live if you want to go fully off-grid, due to the lack of road system. In Alaska, we have 3 major cities: Anchorage, Wasilla, Fairbanks. But once you try to get out into the wilderness, it gets a little tough. Of course, you could live in towns like Talkeetna, which is considered the middle of nowhere and very small. You're still living in neighborhoods that are right next to other homes. In other cases, when you're trying to find remote property, the land is either already bought up or it's nearly impossible to access because Alaska's road systems are so limited. So finding truly off-grid land is rare, and when we found ours, we thought we had something special. We were told that there was road access, that we could cross the railroad, that we'd be able to drive in and out of our property, but that promise turned out to be a trap. I'm coming. I know you're thinking that we're insane, and you are correct. No shame, no doubt about it. The goal is to someday have a maintained road to get in. Gotta make the load a little bit lighter.
Yeah, we figured we're getting stuck too much. Might as well take the heaviest stuff out, leave it, and make another trip. Save ourselves a little effort.
Come on, baby, you got it. Woo! Don't stop, keep going.
Got a leak around the rim, and now we got a flat tire.
How bad is it?
Like flat. We're gonna keep dragging it anyways. This is a crappy tire. I don't care if it gets bent.
Yeah,
I got a couple more spares back at the truck at the house.
Okay.
So as long as we get there today with this load, we'll be happy.
It'll be fine.
I was starting to get a little hopeless back there. Man, that was a muddy, nasty mess.
I'm so proud of you. You did it.
Yay. Only with the help of the winch. If I didn't have a winch, we would have been stuck as beep.
When we first purchased our property, we were told that there was road access. The listing and the realtor made it very clear that you could drive in. We knew it was a great piece of land. It wasn't swampy, it was dry, flat, and in a prime area for world-class fishing. It felt like a once-in-a-lifetime spot. But when we finally came out to see it in person, we drove down the dirt road that the GPS was taking us on, and we were immediately stopped. A man told us that it was his private property and that we were not allowed to use his railroad crossing. Don't even think about asking me. His words verbatim. So here's the part of the story where I want to remind you that Steve and I, we're very simple folk. We don't have much to our name, so every last penny we put into this property, thinking that this would be our forever home, where we'd raise our family, where we could actually start to save money and advance in life. That being said, we definitely could not afford an attorney, so our only other option was to follow any other path that we could to access our property. There's approximately 15 other landowners that are back here. All of us are landlocked. The only way any of us could access our properties is by taking a small 4x4 trail, going over the railroad tracks, and then getting to our land. We contacted the railroad, trying to do things the right way. We got a bid, started working with our neighbors to figure out a legal and safe solution to have a private railroad crossing installed. At first, the railroad quoted us $250,000 to install a crossing. That alone was shocking. But then the price jumped dramatically, and now they're asking for $450,000. That's nearly $500,000 just to get legal access to our own property. Now, obviously, none of us can afford that. Steve and I have been stuck carrying everything over the railroad tracks, handing each other groceries one by one, carrying gallons of water one by one. Steve and I have so much faith. We just knew that a solution would come, that we could work together with our neighbors, apply for grants, maybe get state or community help to fund the crossing. We truly believe that this was just a temporary hurdle, that in maybe a year or two we'd have real legal access to our land. But now it's too late.
New this morning, several emergency crews responded to a collision last night involving a train and an ATV. Now, this is video from David Straub, who lives near the area. You can see those emergency vehicles. They were on scene, and the train in the background.
A 5-year-old man killed last night when Alaska Railroad confirms a train collided with the ATV he was on. Told our investigative reporter, Johnson Kuhn, he was with that man when it happened.
That's right, Rebecca. That neighbor and friend calling this a tragedy when I talked to him. Alaska State Troopers say the man who died was Brian Newdecker. Nick Taylor says Brian and his family had only just moved in next door in Talkeetna a month ago from Minnesota to live out their dream of living in Alaska. Now, the External Affairs Director told me during the last decade there have been 6 pedestrian deaths. She said the Alaska Railroad Police continue to investigate and will keep you updated. Johnson Kuhn, Alaska's news source.
This morning, railroad officers came to our front door, which was very startling since we live so far out here, we don't ever have guests. They told us that the railroad is putting up a gate, a physical barrier across the tracks. Since the tragic death of the man on the ATV just a few miles from here, they started cracking down harder, and now we're stuck in the middle.
Man, got the worst news possible. The only way for us to get in and out of our cabin is now blocked. People have been using this trail for the last 50 years, coming in and out of here. And of course, the one summer that we finally move out here and build on our property, the railroad is shutting down our access to our trail. We can't even get out to our property anymore. We're completely isolated. the road that comes into our property, our neighbor cut us off. So now we're landlocked. We're completely stranded. If we want to get to our cabin, we have to walk, and it's a half a mile. How am I going to carry water half a mile? This is ridiculous. I can't believe we actually are getting shut out of our own property. The railroad is going to block this up. They're going to block our path to even get close to the tracks. We've been having to bring all of our stuff close to the tracks with the four-wheeler, walk it across, or walk it to the tracks, have the four-wheeler on the other side to be able to drive all of our stuff to our cabin. Well, now the railroad's not happy. People have been bringing their vehicles, like big vehicles, up here and driving across the tracks, and it's becoming such a safety hazard. Now they're completely cutting off our access. We won't have any way to get to our cabin anymore. If our neighbor would let us use the road, we wouldn't have to worry about this. We don't have a track up there to mess with because he has a crossing. But for some reason, he won't let any of us down here use this crossing. There's like 15 of us. So now he's forcing everybody to try to take this trail to get to their property, and now the railroad's cutting us out. I'm just a simple man trying to make a living and get a house debt-free. We can't afford the housing market these days, so we bought some land off grid, tried to build our own homestead, and now we're getting cut off by the railroad. Now we can't even ride a four-wheeler to our house. How are we supposed to live out here if we can't get water? We can't get food. We can't get anything out here. Now we're gonna have to abandon our dreams of living off grid, move back to the city, or find some other way.
If we can't even walk across the tracks, how are we supposed to bring a newborn back here? How are we supposed to leave in an emergency? How are we supposed to live like this at all when we're constantly feeling like we're doing something bad, when all we want to do is just live our lives freely? We definitely don't have all the answers right now. We don't know what to do next. It's going to be really hard to walk away from the place that we put so much love and blood, sweat, and tears into. We don't have all the answers, but we do know this. We are sure as hell not giving up on our Alaskan dream. We did it before, and we could do it again. Because if you know my husband, and if you know me, you know damn well that we are both bullheaded, hard-headed, relentless, hard-working people. And we do not give up in this family.